In this video, I'm going to be breaking down these specific steps and actions that you need to take to reach $100,000 a month in revenue in your Amazon business. If you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I sell well over $100,000 a month, close to $200,000 a month. And I've been over the $100,000 a month mark for almost a year now. November of 2021 was the first time I ever did more than $100,000 in a single month. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing the specific steps that really took my business from $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month, wherever you might be at right now if you're a beginner doing a little bit of sales. And after this video, you're gonna have a specific roadmap to follow to be able to scale your business to that $100,000 a month mark. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that roadmap. So I've got some notes written down for this video, kind of step by step here. So let's say right now your Amazon business is doing $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Really, this video is gonna be more geared towards intermediate sellers. If you're brand new to selling on Amazon, you haven't sold anything, I would recommend going and watching more of the beginners focused videos on my channel, or you can stick around and get a little bit of vision casting. But this is definitely gonna be long-term strategy if you're just starting your business. But if you've got a little bit of experience in your Amazon journey, the most important thing that you can make sure you have mastered before we start worrying about hiring anyone, outsourcing anything like that, everything within an Amazon business comes down to how good you are at sourcing. So before you start hiring out prep or any virtual assistants or anything like that, you need to make sure that you're really good at sourcing products on Amazon. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. That doesn't mean that 100% of the products you buy are going to pan out. Not even 100% of the products that we buy pan out. I can guarantee you that there's no one out there doing good numbers who is 100% successful on every single product. But in the early to intermediate stages of your Amazon business, getting really good at sourcing is absolutely priority number one. And the way you get really good at sourcing is by going wide at the beginning. So source 5, 10, 20 units of a whole bunch of different products as you're learning the process. That's going to give you a whole bunch of lessons. And with those lessons, you're going to be able to learn a ton about sourcing products. Maybe on some specific products, you look back, you realize the prices dropped, and you're able to go back, you're able to see, we bought it at Walmart. It was not a bundle, nothing extra. We weren't able to differentiate ourselves at all. There was no moats around the product, and that's why the price tanked. Maybe you look at your best selling products and you're like, okay, we bought that on sale, plus it had a coupon, plus we had some cash back, like all that kind of stuff. As you start to get more and more at-bats, you're going to see what really works when you're individually sourcing certain products, and you're going to be able to focus on those strategies long term. And so as you're finding more and more success sourcing these products, at the start, I would highly recommend that you're shipping all of these products to yourself. Don't use any prep centers, don't use any third-party services, anything like that when you're first starting out. Number one, it's going to teach you what good prep work looks like. So you're going to know how to take great care of your items. And then later on, you're going to be able to tell if your employees are doing a good job or if your prep centers are doing a good job because you did it in the very beginning. Same with sourcing, right? You have to be really good at sourcing because sure, we are going to be able to teach other people to source products for us, but you can't teach people what you don't know, right? So it's super important to be able to master both of those things yourself. But as you're sourcing more and more products, usually the first bottleneck you're going to run into in your business on your way to that $100,000 a month mark is running out of time for prepping items. Because when we're selling on Amazon, every single item that we ship into Amazon has to have very specific standards. You know, sometimes you have to polybag it, multi-pack, throw a rubber band around the shoebox, like all that kind of stuff is definitely extra work that adds up. And as you're trying to scale your Amazon business, your time is going to become more and more valuable, especially as you learn that sourcing. It's a very high dollar per hour scale to be really good at sourcing. So it makes a ton of sense as soon as you start getting to the point where you are spending time prepping products, when you have money sitting on the sidelines that you know you should be going out actively sourcing more products. If that's you and you're spending time prepping when you know you should be spending money on products, looking for new ways to spend money, that's the right time for you to go ahead and start outsourcing prep to a prep center, is when you're running out of time to spend your money. It seems like a goofy problem, but you definitely will run into that as you get really good at sourcing. And so the first thing you do on your way to $100,000 a month is get a prep center. Now, if you don't want to work with a prep center, you can also hire somebody in-house. Like I ended up hiring my sister, like when I was in high school, that kind of stuff. My sister did a little bit of work for me on the side. Like if you've got kids at home, you've got family friends, the neighbor kids, like anybody who wants to make a little bit of money, that can be a really good way to start outsourcing that prep. But really, if you want to scale for the long term, I'd highly recommend to just jump in with a prep center. And if you use a prep center in a sales tax free state, those guys, when you ship them your inventory, they're going to do all the labeling, they're going to prep it for you, they're going to ship it off to Amazon for you. Or if that prep center is in a state like Oregon, Montana, Delaware, there's a couple other, I think, where those states actually have no sales tax. So let's say you buy a $50 item and you live in a 10% sales tax state. That was me when I first started my OA journey. And so you're going to pay $5 in sales tax, or you could send it to your prep center and pay $1.50 in prep costs. And that's actually going to be way cheaper and you save time. So that can be another really awesome added benefit of getting that prep center as you're scaling your business. The next thing you want to do on your way to scaling to $100,000 a month is, as you were learning the process, like we tested wide on a whole bunch bunch of different products. And because you got the reps in on all those different products, number one, you can go back to those exact products that you sourced, see which ones of those are still good. A couple of those products you're probably going to be replenishing over and over and over again. And so it becomes a very recurring product for your business. And so as you go, I'd highly encourage you to start buying more and more of those products that you're replenishing, because really a ton of going from $5, $10, $15,000 a month on Amazon to 100 really just boils down to having a little bit more confidence to buy the inventory that you know is going to sell, buy the inventory that's already doing well for you. All that kind of stuff is going to be a great way to build your Amazon business. Having already tested those products in the past, just go way deeper on those products using that knowledge of how fast the product sold. Maybe you sold 10 units, maybe you sold your test buy in a week. Next time, go ahead and get 40 or 60 or 80. Not only is that going to keep you in stock longer on Amazon and naturally generate more sales for you, but the Amazon buy box algorithm actually favors you if you're able to stay in stock on a listing for longer and longer, especially if you're generating sales and consistently able to stay in stock. Amazon's algorithms are actually going to trust you as the seller on that product, and you're going to naturally start seeing more and more buy box rotation. So when you look at a listing, whenever you click add to cart, that's the buy box, whichever seller is right there. You're going to be able to hog more and more of that buy box if you're in stock more and more over time. So not only are you just there collecting more sales because you had a little bit more confidence, but because you are stocked deeper and you've been in stock longer, Amazon's going to give you more sales than you would have gotten originally if you had, bought, restocked, sold out, bought, restocked, sold out. And that's something a lot of people don't actually know about the buy box. So if possible, try to stay in stock on as many of your ASINs as possible. And over time, those sales are really seriously going to start building up. And additionally, on your quest to selling $100,000 a month on Amazon, the next thing you're probably going to want to do is go ahead and start looking at getting some help sourcing products. For me, I started hiring virtual assistants to help me source products right around the $50,000 to $60,000 a month in sales mark. That was right around the point in my personal Amazon business where I started to realize that I had the money and I was already outsourcing prep, all that kind of stuff. And even with all those things considered, I still wasn't able to source through all of my inventory budget. And so that's where I really started getting some virtual assistants, helping me find new places to source and really just being able to point them at specific websites. So let's say you stumble across a really good sale. You want to go ahead and look through every item in that catalog, but it really would just take a lot of time for you. That can be a great task for a virtual assistant. Make a quick Loom video, show them exactly how you would source through that specific website, send it over to them, have them source through that website. And now you can kind of use your virtual assistant as kind of just point them at a specific website, say, have fun, go source some products for us. And so obviously that has the benefit of you being able to have twice as much manpower looking through twice as many websites. But on top of that added benefit of just being able to source more products, I've often found a lot of brand new strategies, a lot of strategies that work really well for us just from letting my virtual assistants run wild a little bit. Sometimes you're going to want to say, hey, source this specific website today. Other times you're going to want to just let them free. And then with that time that they're just kind of set free to source wherever they want, I've had my virtual assistant team stumble across several websites, several strategies that I would probably not have discovered on my own, maybe eventually. But my virtual assistant team has actually gone out there and sourced new strategies for us to go after. And so that's another amazing way to start building towards that $100,000 a month mark when you're really starting to build that, that company culture almost of going out, finding new strategies, finding new ways to really just make it work. So as you're following that rough outline that we just talked about there, one thing I want you to keep in mind is, in my opinion, and I've heard several other successful Amazon sellers say the same thing, it's way harder to go from $0 in sales to $10,000 a month in sales than it is to go from $10,000 a month to $50,000 or even $100,000 a month. Because a lot of times when you're going from 0 to 10 a month, you're learning everything, right? You're learning how to send in a shipment, you're learning how to source products. But to go from 10 to $100,000 a month, you're learning, how do I source products faster? How do I source products better? How do I save myself time so that we can start prepping more and more products? Those are much, honestly, more fun, traditional business problems to solve as to how can we get more efficient? How do I save myself time? Those are the things that you start solving for once you're trying to push for that $100,000 a month mark. When you're going from 0 to 10, you're just trying to scrap it together. You're just trying to make it work, trying to prove the concept. It doesn't really probably make a lot of sense at all when you first start. But then once you start hitting that $10,000 to $15,000 a month mark, really it's just about doing the same thing that you've already been doing to get there, and then figuring out how to do it faster, how to acquire the capital to get you to $100,000 a month, and then building the organization to eventually do all that for you and help you get there a lot faster. And so there's probably going to be several of you guys who probably feel like I've been talking directly to you this whole time. You're probably finding a little bit of success in your Amazon business. You're ready to scale that to the next level. And if you have the capital to really start scaling quickly, we actually very recently launched Lightspeed FBA right here. It's my brand new coaching program. I've been working directly with a small cohort of guys and gals inside of Lightspeed FBA. We hop on Zoom calls twice a week. Right now while I'm recording, we had our first call last night, and I was able to go in, show them specific sites to source at, show them specific coupons and strategies and all that kind of stuff to be able to source thousands and thousands of dollars in profit this week. And then over the coming months, I'm going to be continuing to break down my exact systems that I use in my own Amazon business to manage my repricing, restocking, build company culture, incentivize, train, hire virtual assistants, all that kind of stuff. Really, I just want to share my knowledge about what I've learned over the last 4 or so years with a group of super high performing Amazon sellers. And so if you are ready to scale your Amazon business to the next level, I'm going to be hopping on a call, hopefully with you, showing you exactly where to source inventory, how to manage your repricing, restocking, how to potentially build a virtual assistant team that runs the business for you. That's something I'm super passionate about in my own Amazon business, is hiring managers and sourcers and all that good stuff so that I'm not spending all of my time building up my business. At the end of the day, I want to make sure we're all building something that we can sit back at a little bit and continue to make money. So I would love to help you scale your Amazon business to $100,000 a month and beyond. You can go ahead and apply to join Lightspeed directly below me. We do go ahead and fully vet out. Like I said, everyone in there is a super high performing Amazon seller. And so we want to make sure you're fully prepared for the knowledge inside there. But if you've got a little bit of capital and you're ready to go ahead and start scaling, once again, go ahead and apply down below, lightspeedfba.com. And then there we can make sure you're ready to fully take advantage of the information inside Lightspeed if you want to seriously start scaling your business. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. If you did, please remember to hit that subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. Helps me out the YouTube algorithm for sharing some value with you guys. If you have any questions, comments, I'm always happy to answer those down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.